All right, guys, tonight you're going to have to make sure that you take really good notes because this is probably, it's not hard at all. It's a little bit more steps than we have done in this unit. So make sure you're ready to take good notes. Pause it whenever you need to. Start it over whenever you need to. But we're going to go ahead and get started tonight talking about slope-intercept form. All right, slope-intercept form is, I'm sure you've seen it. You just probably never, you may have worked with it a little bit, but we haven't in our class yet. It's y equals mx plus b. And just the definition of the slope-intercept is it's the equation of a straight line in the form of y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope of the line and b is the y-intercept. I like slope-intercept form the best. It is the form of y equals, which makes it easier to plug into, either for graphing or doing word problems, either one. You just plug in your x value. The equation is already solved for y, so y is already by itself. You're going to plug it in the x value, and just a second here. Sorry about that, guys. But anyways, like I was saying, all you have to do is you just plug in the value for x and you just solve, and you've got your answer. Also, this is the only format that you can plug into your graphing calculator nowadays, since you've got those awesome graphing calculators, and that you have to have a y equals format to use the graphing utility. And we'll talk about that in class. We'll not worry about that tonight. But the best part about slope-intercept form is that you can read off of the slope of the intercept right from the equation. Like if I was to give you, say, y equals 3x plus 4, and I say, all right, little Johnny, tell me, what is my slope? Whatever number takes the place of your slope, because up here it says m is the slope, so right there, whatever takes the place of m, which is 3, so your m is 3, so your slope is 3. This b, just told you, is your y-intercept, so that's where the equation of the line crosses the y-axis is 4, so your b would be 4. It's awesome. Once you get in this formula, it's super easy. I mean, I think it's the best one. All right. The best way for me to explain slope-intercept form is to just go ahead and jump in there and do an example. The directions wants you to find the equation of a straight line that has a slope of m equals 4, and it passes through the point of -1, -6. Okay, so if it is a straight line, it told us in the directions that it was. I have my y, which is -6. I have my m, which is 4, and I have my x, which is -1. So that leaves me with the only thing that I don't have so far is my b, which is my y-intercept, and I have to have it in order to graph it. All I need to do is plug in what they gave me and then just solve for b like a normal equation. So if I've got y equals mx plus b, my y is -6, because remember this is my x and my y. My m is 4, my x is -1, and I don't have my b. That's what we're looking for. So now you just solve. 4 times -1 is -4. So now you're left with -6 equals -4 plus b. Solving a simple one-step equation, we want to move this -4 to the over to the other side, and the opposite of a -4 is a +4. So you got b equals -6 plus 4 is going to give me a -2. So that means that my b is -2. So whenever I go to rewrite my equation, I know that my m was 4, y equals 4x, and my b is a -2, so -2. That is my equation of the line, and that is it. It's that simple. Okay, then you may have some problems, and what happens if they don't give me the slope? Well, I taught you, when we first started talking about slope, the formula to determine slope using 2 points. So the first thing you would do is determine what slope is by using your slope formula. There's your x1, y1. There's your x2, y2. And remember that formula for determining slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so now we got 2 minus 4 over 1 minus a -2. We know that a negative and a negative makes what? And if you said positive, you are correct, so that changes to plus. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. So my slope is a negative 2/3. And that is a negative slope just because of the negative number. And we're not finished because we still don't know what our y-intercept is, and it wants the equation of the line. Okay? So now we know what m is. We're still looking for b. Okay? So what you're going to have to do is you have 2 points to pick from. It doesn't matter which point you choose because either one you choose, it's going to, once you plug it into the equation, you're going to get the same answer. So what I would do first, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up my first one. I always pick the first ordered pair. So I list my x, my y, and my m because I don't have my b. My x is negative 2, my y is 4, and my m is a negative 2/3. Okay? I'm going to change my color so that you can see this a little bit better. All right, so now you just plug it into your y equals mx plus b. Your y equals 4. Your m was a negative 2/3. Your x was a negative 2. We don't know what our b is. You just keep solving. Negative 2/3 times negative 2 gives you a positive, because a negative and a negative, 4/3 plus b. We're trying to get our b by itself, so we're going to have to subtract 4/3 from both sides. And that's going to give me b equals 12/3, a negative 12/3, I'm sorry. Give me one, I'm sorry. I said negative, I meant to say positive. 12/3, which is also 8/3. Okay, so now our b equals 8/3, and our m is a negative 2/3. So our equation of the line is y equals negative 2/3 x plus 8/3. Very simple. And we're going to work another one out on this next slide. So. Okay, guys, on this one, I want you to pause it, try to work it out on your own, and then we will work it out together. This one tells you that the slope is 5 and that it passes through the point of 1 and 6. So on this one you were looking for b. Using y equals mx plus b, you need to substitute in and solve for b. Pause it, work it out, and I'll be back. Or you'll be back whenever, come back when you're done. Okay? So I always list what I've got. My x is 1, my y is 6, and my m is 5. Substitute in. 6 equals, m is 5, x is 1, and I don't know my b. Now I just solve. 5 times 1 is 5. To get my b by itself, I'm going to subtract 5. b equals 1. So if my b equals 1 and my m equals 5, my equation of the line is y equals 5x plus 1. Very simple. Hopefully you got that one right. Okay, on the next slide, we're going to solve for an equation of the line that gives you 2 points. All right, on this one, it says find the equation of the line that passes through the points 2, 3, and 4, 9. So x1 is 2, y1 is 3, x2 is 4, and y2 is 9. So we just substitute in using our formula of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is helping us to determine what my m is, what my slope is. Okay, so we got 9 is y2 minus 3 or y1. 4 x2 minus x1 is 2 equals 9 minus 3 is 6. 4 minus 2 is 2, and that simplifies to 3. So my m equals 3. I'm still looking for my b. I don't know what my b is. So I can pick either point, either that point or that point. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I always go for my first one just because it's the first one I come to. So my x is 2, my y is 3, and my m is 3. We substitute it into slope-intercept form. And you've got 3 equals 3 times 2 plus b. 3 equals, 3 times 2 is 6 plus b. To get b by itself, we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. b equals negative 3. So we got our b, we have our m. Our equation of the line is y equals 3x minus 3. It's that simple, guys. I know the example before was a little bit confusing because of fractions, but don't let the fractions scare you away. You've got a calculator that you can use, and you've got me to help you if you need it. Make sure you're taking really good notes. Be ready to do some examples on this tomorrow, and get some rest tonight and have a good breakfast in the morning. I'll see you guys tomorrow.